Sabbath to you. I pray you are well, and I pray God is being good to you and to your families. Today, in our 5 minutes, we are going to read from the book of Proverbs, chapter 2, from verse 6 to verse 9. Proverbs chapter 2, from verse 6 to verse 9. Let us hear these words of wisdom, ancient words of life. Solomon says, "For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk uprightly. He guards the path of justice and preserves the way of his saints. Then you will understand righteousness and justice, equity, and every good path." My friends, we are talking about wisdom. The world over talks about wisdom. In fact, we all know that there is wisdom that can be found in amassing degrees, in going to school. We can learn wisdom. But today, I want to speak about a wisdom that's different from that. A wisdom that we cannot get from the books. A wisdom that even those that have read books may not have. There are so many people that have attained the wisdom of this world. So many scientists, so many people, the Einsteins of this world, that have not been able to attain the wisdom I want to talk about today. Solomon helps us to understand that wisdom comes from God. That's the title of today. Wisdom comes from God. In verse 6 it says, God gives wisdom. If you want to think about the foundation of wisdom, it is from God. Therefore, my friends, it is impossible to be wise without God. It may sound not usual to some of us, but I want to put it to you. Have you never seen people we consider to be so wise, yet they act foolishly, yet decisions they make in life appear to be foolish? It is because what is lacking is the wisdom of God. Now, this wisdom of God does not need you to go to university. It does not need you to go to school. It just needs you to submit humbly yourself to God. Solomon asked God for wisdom. The wisdom to decipher between good and evil. The wisdom to rule over God's people righteously. He says, Solomon in verse 7, God stores up sound wisdom for the upright. Did you know that in heaven there are silos of wisdom in God that he is more than willing to give to each and every one of us, to whoever is willing? It says to the upright. We can be upright. How so? By submitting ourselves to God. Solomon goes on to say that those that walk uprightly, God is their shield. Do you know we are living in a time when we need to be shielded? And I wonder, who is shielding you today? Is it God, or you are seeking your solace from things of this world, and you are constantly getting disappointed because that shield is not strong enough? Solomon goes on to say, God guards the paths of justice and preserves the way of sinners. My friends, you and I don't need to be told. We are living in a world that is uneven, a world that is not equal, a world that is full of corruption. There is no more justice in our courts of justice. There is no justice whatsoever for the poor. There is no justice for many people in the world we are living in. But I want you to understand, when you give your life to God, God is able to guide you and to guide you on the path of justice. In this world, my friends, you want to do anything, you have to jump on the bandwagon of corruption. You want to amass a little bit of wealth, be corrupt. You want land, be corrupt. But here Solomon says, the wisdom of God, it guides God's children. It guides them on the path of justice, and it preserves their way. I need my way preserved. I don't know the way you are walking. Who is preserving your walk? Today, my friends, the world we're living in is causing us to be divided. It's leading us in path of unrighteousness, but God's ways are ways of righteousness. He concludes, you will then understand righteousness, You will then understand justice. You will then understand equity and every good path. May God bless us as we seek God's wisdom today. In whatsoever you choose to do today, go to the fountain of all knowledge and of all wisdom. That is our God. May you be blessed today and have a happy Sabbath. Amen.